Best seen from choking back the tears. Interior, the Schulweiss family room, day. The family room is buzzing solemnly with people, coming in and out of the apartment as they pay respect to the mourning family. The dining room is set with an array of refreshments and food. Some visitors bring dishes and add them to the table. Aaron sits in his usual chair, tears running down his cheeks. Ruben sits at the center of the sofa. Next to him is Rita, the blonde woman from the funeral, still clutching his elbow. Rita, 60s, with a southern twang and wavy blonde hair. Rita is preciously done up, and her voluptuous breast is a dead giveaway for plastic surgery. Rita promptly smiles meek smiles at everybody, while dabbing the corner of her eyes from time to time with a handkerchief. Matthew, Reha, and Amandine are standing behind a dining table.
Did she really have to be at Mom's funeral?
When did she have a boob job? I almost bought the same dress at Forever 21.
Matthew turns to look at them both.
My dad brings his girlfriend to Mom's funeral. She's sitting at Mom's spot on the sofa. My best friend is checking out her boobs. And you're concerned with fashion choices?
Yeah. Matthew turns back to look at Rita and his father. He shakes his head slowly.
I mean, the first thing you should have noticed is her lipstick. It's so not her shade.
The three of them try to contain their laughter, but their chortles are clearly heard by everyone. Aaron springs from his armchair and faces Matthew, his face red with boiling anger as he points in the direction of Matthew's childhood bedroom.
Go to your room if you feel this is funny, and take your friends with you.
Reha and Amandine collect themselves and make an effort to avoid the stares in their direction. The room falls silent. Matthew snorts.
You don't get to bully me anymore.
Aaron leans over the table.
We just buried Mom. Can't you even shed a few tears for her?
Aaron turns around. Matthew's smile vanishes. Suddenly, Matthew lunges over the table, grabs Aaron by his collar, and shouts.
And whose fault is that?
Matthew pulls Aaron back, but Aaron manages to turn around and hold down Matthew in a headlock. Reha tries to pull Matthew back, while Aaron's wife does the same from the other side.
Stop!
Calm down.
Stop it, you two!
Let go of me, you asshole.
Aaron frees Matthew from the headlock and pushes him away. Matthew straightens himself, while Reha pulls him further away from reaching Aaron again. Matthew's eyes tear up and he chokes.
I wish I could cry, but I can't.
Matthew points a blaming finger at Aaron.
And that's your fault.
Another silence fills the room. Amandine covers her mouth with a trembling hand. Reha whispers softly into Matthew's ear while embracing him by his shoulders.
My fault? My fault? How is it my fault?
Aaron, enough.
No, you should finally get to hear this.
Matthew walks around the table to face Aaron. Reha follows quickly behind.
When we were kids, you bullied me all the time.
Matthew gently pushes Aaron back with his hand, but Aaron barely moves. Matthew's voice rises with every sentence.
Every day when we sat to watch movies.
Matthew pushes Aaron harder with both of his hands. Aaron falls back a bit. Reha tries to pull Matthew back, but Matthew shakes him off and Aaron's wife starts crying.
Please stop.
And every time I dared to cry,
Matthew pushes Aaron harder.
you made fun of me.
Matthew pushes Aaron even harder.
And that's why I stopped crying.
Matthew pushes Aaron with all of his strength. Aaron stumbles, but grips Matthew by both hands, pushes him and pins Matthew with his back to the library.
You spoiled little brat!
A few books fall down. Reha, Amandine, Aaron's wife, and a few others rush to separate the two, but can't manage to pull Aaron away.
You had it easy. Mom always protected you.
Aaron releases Matthew from his grip, turns and puts his arm around his wife's waist. Reha and Amandine help Matthew regain his composure. Matthew brushes them off, chortles, and straightens his suit.
Maybe I am a spoiled brat, but at least I didn't come running to Mom every time I was being cheated on.
Several of the guests gasp loudly. Aaron spins around and punches Matthew in the face. Blood gushes down Matthew's nose. Reha jumps in between the two to prevent any further damage. Aaron's wife turns away, crying. Amandine and a few other women go to comfort her. Rita jumps from the sofa and shouts.
Enough! You're hurting your dad.
A brief silence follows, and they all notice Ruben is crying. Matthew clears his throat.
And why are you even here?
Rita opens her mouth.
Show some respect. She's my wife.
Aaron, his wife, Matthew, Amandine, and Reha all look flabbergasted.
Dad, seriously, you never had an appropriate sense of humor.
Aaron laughs a bit, but Matthew's expression is grave.
Since when are you two married?
It's been 5 years.
What?
Oh
my God.
A brief second of silence passes.
Well, I guess the invites got lost in the mail.
Matthew storms out of the apartment, slamming the door behind him.